Good afternoon, this is Darno from Porsche of Ocala. I have here two of the 718 Boxsters that we have here in our inventory. On the left here we have the 2018 718 Boxster in GT Silver. And to the right of that, we have the 2018 718 Boxster S in Agate Gray. So the 718 Boxster has changed. In 2017, they renamed the Boxster and presented it as the 718. With this came some model changes. You have new engines for both the Boxster and Boxster S. On the Boxster, you're gonna have a 2-liter, 4-cylinder, turbocharged engine. It's a 4-cylinder Boxster engine that produces 300 horsepower, 280 pound-foot of torque. And you're gonna get peak torque at 1950 RPM. They've also made changes to the body. So you see sharper lines all over the body, make everything look a little bit more pronounced. The front end look a little wider. They've changed the headlight design to fall in line with the new design that Porsche's been going with, the 4-point LEDs. This particular vehicle is very well equipped. It has the Premium Package Plus. You have the 20-inch Carrera S wheels. The air intakes on the side were enlarged for this generation to help with air being drawn where they need to be towards the motor, seeing as it is turbocharged, and the better the airflow, the better the car is going to run. A lot of people were worried about the sound of the vehicle because it was going to a 4-cylinder. As you can see, it has a very unique sound for a 4-cylinder, very throaty. You now have standard backup camera and parking sensors on the front and rear with the 718. You have a new headlight design and tail light design. So Porsche's kind of going with the 3D effect with their tail lights and headlights to make everything pop, just stand out just a little bit more. And then they're going with the 4-point look. So you have 4-point LED brake lights in the back, and then the LED strip going across for your tail light. Now the Boxsters aren't just fun, they're very functional vehicles. Because the Boxster is a mid-engine design, with the engine sitting right behind the seats, you do have 2 trunks. You have a luggage compartment up front, and you also have one in the rear. So there's ample space for day-to-day usage, even for a short weekend trip. Now the top operation is class leading. The top will go up and down in 9 seconds, and you can do it up to speeds of 31 miles per hour. Now with this vehicle having the Premium Package Plus, you get quite a bit with that. So you have the Porsche entry and drive. So on the door handles here, you'll notice that there's a notch. So that indent there, or the notch, when you touch it, it's going to lock the car. When you put your hand inside the door handle, it has sensors for you to unlock the car. You also get a key that stays in the ignition, and once it senses the actual key, it'll be able to start the vehicle. You also have the 14-way power seats on the driver and passenger side with the memory package. So you get memory seats on the driver's side. You also have the auto-dimming mirror, the Bose surround sound system, and then the PDLS, which is a Porsche Dynamic Light System. So up front, the headlights were upgraded, so you have cornering capability, as well as having the LED daytime running lights with the xenon headlight. On the inside, you'll notice some changes to the interior of the vehicle. The center console is still raised up high, so that you can create a shorter distance from the steering wheel to your controls. The steering wheel design has changed. So now all of the vehicles in Porsche's lineup are getting the 918 design from the steering wheel. This one is the GT style. So with that being said, it is 10 millimeters smaller than the standard wheel, which is better for handling. You have your traditional 3 clusters that you would find in the Caymans and the Boxsters. You have your speedometer on the left side, your tachometer in the center, and then you have what Porsche calls the TFT display right here to the right, which shows quite a bit of information, which we'll cycle back around to in a minute. Going over to the center, you have your PCM with navigation. It's a very nice radio. Porsche made it frameless as of 2017. There used to be a frame around the radio, so it made the screen look smaller. So now it's frameless, very flat, has a very clean look to it. The screen is a little bit more vibrant. The images pop out to you just a little bit more, and it's easier to operate for this generation, and more information that's available. You have heated and ventilated seats, 2-zone climate control, which you'll also get with the Premium Package Plus. This vehicle has the PDK transmission, which is Porsche's double clutch. Now, once they switched to this new generation, it changed the operation of the transmission just a little bit. So you pull it down into drive like you normally would. But if you wanted to put this into the manual mode, you push it over to the left. And from here, you can see the plus and minus here. You're going to shift up by pulling it towards you and shift down by pushing away. And they've made this change because it makes sense that you're going to go with the momentum of the car while shifting, as opposed to going against it. You have your lock control right in the center, which is traditional for Porsche, the center locking. You have your sport mode, your PSM, which is Porsche Stability Management. You have your active aerodynamics, so the spoiler on the vehicle will come up on its own, or you can hit this button and it'll deploy the spoiler for you, or press and hold it and it'll bring it back down. And you have your automatic start and stop feature, which will deactivate the engine to help you save on fuel. Here you have the controls for the top. It's very easy operation. Again, you can utilize both of these switches while driving. So it goes up and down while going up to speeds up to 31 miles per hour. The TFT display displays tons of information here. This is your main vehicle menu. You have your audio, your phone menu, your map, your navigation, which will show you turn-by-turn directions as well as previous destinations, your trip information, your tire pressure, and then back around to your main vehicle menu. So going in there, you'll actually find info where you'd find messages or alerts that come up in the car. Check your oil, because there is no dipstick in the Boxsters. You have your limits menu, and then you have the most important thing that they've added to this, your settings. So you can keep your hand on the wheel and operate the TFT display very easily. Porsche is very big on simplicity, so it makes sense that the TFT display would be the way that it is. So I'm just going to show you the luggage compartments for the vehicle. So in the rear, you have a luggage compartment back here, a little bit of extra space on both sides. Because of the mid-engine design, you have access to your coolant as well as your oil back here. And as you go up front, see you have a very deep trunk up front. So once again, you can use this for day-to-day usage. A very convenient sports car. Not many vehicles in its class will have the space that this vehicle offers. Now going over to the Boxster S. Majority of the things that I've mentioned will carry over to the Boxster S. Some of the things will be just amplified. So you have, instead of a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, for this model you're going to have a 2.5-liter turbocharged engine that produces 350 horsepower instead of 300. So you're getting a horsepower jump. Peak torque is still 1950 RPM. You have larger brakes with the Boxster S. The sound changes a little bit due to the larger engine. While that vehicle has an upgraded exhaust tip, on the Boxster S you're going to get the dual tips as a standard. The agate gray is a wonderful color. It's a very deep gray. I left the top up on this one just so you can see what it looks like with the top up. This one has the matching agate gray interior. Once again, the 14-way power seats. This one has a standard steering wheel. So inside, you'll see steering wheel slightly larger, and you have this little dial here. So one of the differences that between these two vehicles is this vehicle is equipped with what Porsche calls the Sport Chrono package. So the Sport Chrono package is going to get you a couple things. One of which is this dial here, which is, to be a little bit more in depth to, I'll go right back to that. So you have also a clock up here, which is going to be a lap timer that you'll activate using the TFT display. So this dial here will actually be your mode selection. In the Boxster we were just in, you just hit the sport button and it's going to change the driving characteristics of the car. With this one, you have the mode selection here on the dial. So this is your normal mode. You turn it to the right, you're into the sport mode, you see the valves open up, the throttle response is increased, as well as the shifting patterns have changed. And you can hear that it's in the sport mode. You go one more time, now you're in Sport Plus, which is going to be the most aggressive setting. It's going to be very responsive, very quick shifting. And then you have your individual mode. The individual mode is a customized mode that you can change. So as an example, if you wanted to have the vehicle in the normal mode and have the spoiler up all the time, and then turn off your automatic start and stop, you can customize it to individual setting, and then you can just set it to individual and it goes to your settings instead of going to 3 different things to change that. Now, when you have the PDK, you get a button that's in the center of this dial, and this button is an amazing button. You press this and you can hear the difference in the engine. What it does is closes the wastegate to your turbo so that you get extra boost for 20 seconds. The timer comes up in your screen and you can see that it's working. And Porsche says that you can use this as many times as you want. You can use it. Once it's done, use it again. It's there. It won't hurt anything in the car. It's just closing up the wastegate, and that's it. And now you're back to normal. Okay, I'm going to step back so we can take one more good look at these Boxsters. There's also one more model that we have that's in the showroom. It's the Boxster GTS, which is going to be the step up from the Boxster S. The difference is going to be it's the same 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, but it has a little bit more horsepower, a little bit more torque, and as a standard, you get the PASM, which is a Porsche Active Suspension Management Sport Suspension, so it's 20 millimeters lower. You have the Sport exhaust. The Sport Chrono will be standard. The GT style steering wheel will be standard. You'll have black badging and tinted taillights. The one we have is Carrera White Metallic. Once again, this is Darno from Porsche Vocale. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you.